Hello YouTube, my name is Daedra with the Gilded Monocle, and today's tutorial is going to be on Steampunk polymer clay pendants. We're going to create some polymer clay pendants with a nice glossy resin over the top of these vintage images. Now these images are ones that I own the rights to, that I purchased, so you need to make sure that you own the copyright to any images that you use, especially if you're going to sell them commercially. Now the clay we're going to use is Sculpey Primo, Sculpey 3, and of course here's another Primo. And the first color I'm going to use is a Sculpey 3 Pewter, just kind of a nice glittery silver color. And you're going to flatten out your dough, and then you're going to roll it into this Amaco pasta maker. And this particular machine is kind of clunky, but it works really well for polymer clay. You just kind of have to hang on to it because it has a tendency to kind of get away from you. The dial has several different settings, and I am using the largest settings for these particular pendants just so they have a little bit of depth. And you're just going to take a cookie cutter, whether you purchased it for polymer clay or it's just a cookie cutter that you have around the house. Metal works best because it gives you a better edge, but you can use the plastic ones. And you just go ahead and cut the shapes. This particular shape we're using is a rectangle to match the images, which I already used Photoshop to sort of line them up. And you can just roll off the little beads of clay that don't quite fit into the cookie cutter, but don't worry if you don't get it perfect. You can always sand them down later. That's the great thing about using polymer clay. It's extremely versatile. So we're just going to go ahead and just roll the clay back up and roll it back through the pasta machine again. And you can do this with any kind of image. You don't have to necessarily choose a steampunk themed image. You can use any image you want, but once again, make sure that you either have the permission of the image owners or that it's an image you created yourself. Something really good to practice on is just go outside with your digital camera or your phone, high res, and take pictures of flowers or nature. A lot of times simple things work really well. And throughout this entire series we'll actually set the clay in a setting, and we'll do the chains and the entire process. But first we have to just go ahead and keep cutting out our pendants in this rectangle shape. And just roll your dough back through again, kneading it a little each time, making sure that it's smooth. And what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to combine a couple colors, which the pasta machine comes in really handy for. And these pasta machines you can get at any craft store, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, they all carry them. They're around, depending on your area of course, anywhere from $20 to $40. Just remember that if you do use them for clay, you don't ever want to use them for pasta. What I'm going to do now is mix this burnt sienna color with the pewter to just sort of give us a nice veined or marble finish. And I'm just picking up little pieces on wax paper. Wax paper is really great to use for several reasons. One, it protects any of your furniture or table from being scratched, because like I said, these pasta machines are kind of clunky. And the other great thing is you won't get any other debris. I don't know if you have pets or kids or anything like that, but it keeps your work surface nice and clean. It's also an easy way to clean up, but the best use is that once you're finished with the pieces, you can literally just pop them in the oven right on the wax paper. And so now I'm just gathering up some more and folding it back into the clay. And you may want to do this several times till you sort of get the look that you want. Or, you know, if it comes out the first time and you love it, like this particular time after we rolled it through, has a nice vein, sort of a stripe there. And then again, this one has a little more red, or the burnt sienna color, which is really nice. But then on the opposite side, it has a little more of the pewter, which it just makes it kind of interesting, so you can decide which sides you want to use. And again, we're going to go ahead and gather up the remaining clay and work that through. You can go ahead and roll that out and just cut another rectangular shape. And you really do get a lot of neat effects just by combining colors. And that'll really stand out once we get to the part where we coat the polymer clay with a nice resin just to give it some shine. Now I'm going to add a little more of the red with this particular silver, or pewter, excuse me. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, you can combine colors. Some of the colors I have here are black and the antique gold, and then there's just a bright gold as well. And you can pick any of those. I was just basically giving you some examples. I mean, Sculpey comes in so many different colors, and there's not a lot of difference between the different types as far as Sculpey 3 and Primo. Some people prefer Primo, some people prefer Sculpey 3. Primo was basically the Sculpey they created in answer to a lot of their customers' requests as far as what they wanted from polymer clay. So really it's just whichever you choose and decide that you work best with. And the great thing about Sculpey is that it does not dry out. And as I go ahead and knead out this last bit of clay, I'm going to go ahead and end the tutorial here. And I hope you guys subscribe to this channel, and make sure you check us out on the web on gildedmonocle.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. Thanks. Bye-bye.